there. Well, today we're on the same northern rail trail as in the past two videos, but today I parked up a little bit more from where I usually park, so hopefully we can go longer, do a little bit more exploring this time, kind of look at the sides of the trail and kind of see what's out there. I know I'm curious. I see a lot of things flying by that I want to check out, and today is the day I think we're going to do that. Maybe, if I don't get sidetracked, which is very, very easy. So as you're kind of passing through these different towns, there's a pretty big lake to my right. But as you're kind of passing through all these towns, you're passing through restaurants and things like that, and the smells are just kind of wafting up here to the trail, and it makes you hungry, because I've smelled French fries 2 or 3 times already, so kind of got a craving for French fries right now. And I'm still smelling it right now too. So I found another curiosity or roadside attraction. Well, not so much an attraction, but interesting. Going through another bridge. And you can see right here, the original train bridge, it looks like, or maybe this was a parallel road to the train tracks, not sure yet. But there's the original bridge abutments. And we're standing on one right here. So at one time just went straight across there. There's a couple pieces of metal down there. So yeah, at one time, those were the original supports for this bridge. And the landscape sure has changed since way back when. Yeah, you can kind of see how it went that way. Curved kind of that way. Kind of went straight on through here, so I'm thinking maybe this was just a road. The train tracks were up there and the road was here. So if you saw my previous video, came out to this beautiful lake. Kind of toward, I think it was towards the end of the video, but we found our own secluded little area here. So I think I'm gonna have some lunch, kind of just enjoy the water out here. Kind of our own little oasis. Hopefully it's not on private property. I don't think it is. Beautiful. Wow, the beach goes all the way down there. I didn't realize that. You gotta cut through the woods to get to it. I think it's that time. Need to pick me up. Time for a mean bean. One long whistle. Okay. This is as far as we made it last video. Alright, so found something interesting. Not really sure what town I'm in right now, and no cell signal whatsoever, so I can't tell you where it is, but I'm sure one of you know. But it's kind of interesting. Little path. Railroad ties. And 1, 2, 3. I see 3 birdhouses. But what does this say? Oh wow, that's pretty neat. That's pretty intricately carved. Wow. And they placed it here. Our beloved Josh, June 4th, 1991 to August 7th, 2009. Yeah, so he wasn't very old. Wilterdink. May his love of nature live on in all of us. Now that is a great memorial. Some time went into that. Number one, to get it out here, and then all these carvings. Beautiful. Fitting tribute, I'd say. Especially Josh loved nature, so yep. We'll leave it at that. Alright, I don't know if the camera will pick it up. See that big old snapping turtle down there? Alright, found something interesting. You're gonna like this. Not sure what town I'm in, but I'm sure one of you will figure it out. Pretty cool, huh? So we're currently under the covered bridge. I'm gonna see if we can find that turtle again, or anything else that's interesting. Was right down and kind of in this vicinity. Not sure where he went. Not really sure. Were those for rafters? Those tubes that are hanging? I don't know. Boaters? Don't know why, but not really sure what they are. If any of you know, let me know. I'm curious about those things, you know. I'm not sure where he went. He was right in here. But anyway, let's see what else we can find. Hey, buddy. Found another picturesque spot. It's beautiful. This is something you don't usually see. These tracks are still in place. It looks like there might have been a spur line going over there. And do we actually have a train on one of them? Wow. Most of the time they just rip it up for scrap, the old rails. And this is pretty cool. And the station. I actually have a replica train car of that exact model. I believe it was an HO model. Pretty cool. And if I have, maybe I'll dig it out. I have a replica of that in an HO scale. Exact color and everything. Pretty neat. So I think this was the freight area for this station. And there's the actual station. I'm gonna go up to that in a little bit. It looks like they got a caboose too. So this is kind of a really interesting area. They actually have done a lot of restoration work. I actually looked both sides before crossing a train track. Even though there probably hasn't been one on these lines for 75 years. But it's pretty cool, the area. That kind of looks like an old store, doesn't it? Neat. Dead end. It's kind of made to look like an old store, and it probably was the location of an old store. Drink Coca-Cola. J. Eamon's Potter Place. I think this was an actual little village within Andover, I believe. Wow, I'd love to go in here sometime. They have all kinds of Old products. Old bottles. Open weekend, Saturdays 10 to 3. Yeah, I'd definitely like to go in there and sometime check it out. Neat. Alright, let's continue. That's beautiful. Western Union Telegraph and Cable Office. Oh, and they converted it into the Historical Society. That was a great idea. That's beautiful. And here we have the caboose restored. Fortunately, you can't go up in it. I'm sure there are times where you can. Pretty neat. So I just read a sign about a secret garden. Let's check it out. I think it's down here. Oh. Pretty cool. It is actually, I believe, what used to be a cellar foundation. What a great idea. And converted into a garden. What a great idea. You are standing in the cellar hole of Richard and Sally Potter's home. This black ventriloquist and magician moved to Andover in 1814 and established a prosperous farm and home while simultaneously continuing to perform in cities throughout the eastern third of the states. Wow, pretty cool. I believe this was the entrance to the cellar. This is pretty neat. Stamped right into this concrete tunnel or bridge. It says, I don't know if you can make it out, Northern Railroad. I think I found the new house I want to live in. Pretty cool, huh? Someone made a cabin. We're definitely gonna have to come back in the fall. Get some really nice pictures then. Yeah, another detour of a beautiful spot. Nearing the little tunnel. Let's do it. Ooh, that's neat. That's interesting. Huh. So, hit another town. We're in Wilmot. And I think I'm going to call it quits here because I've got a really long way back. My battery's not quite down. It's at about 3/4, so we got more than enough to get back, but I'm going to kind of hustle it back. And kind of on a personal note, me and my wife got married in this town. So, yeah. At Eagle Pond. Actually, it was Eagle Pond Lodge. So, and I believe these tracks actually pass that pond. So, maybe in a future episode we'll do that. Thanks for joining me. Please remember to subscribe. Thank you.